Hello everybody, today I'm going to go through a rules explanation and two-player playthrough of the Stefan Feld board game Amerigo, named after the famous explorer Amerigo Vespucci. I just finished actually a similar video about the board game Zhang. That was such a brain burner, I thought, okay, it's time to try to do something a little lighter. And this is actually one of Stefan Feld's lighter games. I don't rank it up there with games like Trajan, for example, but it's still fun. It's a nice light game. You might even consider it a gateway game, maybe a little bit a step beyond a gateway game, but it all depends upon the people you're playing with. So the basic idea of the game is that we're going to create this board of tiles consisting of sea spaces, the blue obviously, and land spaces, the green. And where the tiles connect, they might create larger islands, or you might have smaller islands. For example, this is an island that's only 5 spaces big, but this is an island that's 20 spaces big that consists of this tile and this tile, this tile and this tile, all combining and intersecting at this point here. The islands can consist of commodities, have commodities on them like sugarcane here, cotton, coffee, what else? Coconut over here, and is that 5? And tobacco over here, some tobacco over here and over here. So there's 5 commodities in the game that populate these different islands in one form or another. And there are 16 tiles altogether. In a 2-player game, you only play with a 3x3 grid of tiles. In a 3-player game, you play with a 3x4 grid of tiles. And in a 4-player game, you use all 16 tiles in a 4x4 grid. Now, let me say right up front that according to the rules, the strict reading of the rules, this set of tiles would not be legal, because the rules state that when you're setting out the tiles, you don't you make sure that tiles don't abut each other at diagonal points like this right here, or like this right here, or here, for example. There are 4 cases where the islands connect at diagonal points, because the movement in this game is all orthogonal, right, left, up, down. However, I play with a variant, and if you want, you could play it this way, or you could play it the way it's done by the rules. But I play with a variant. It's actually kind of a construct of my own variant and other people's variants on the BGG forums that suggests that you start with an empty map. The same way Amerigo Vespucci started, because he didn't have a map of North and South America when he sailed along the coast. He kind of explored as he went along. So I start with an empty map, and then as your ships abut different tiles, or as you explore in different ways on the map, you start revealing the tiles little by little. A tile might start off small. For example, you might reveal this tile, and it looks like it's only, about 10 or 12 spaces big. But then you reveal this tile, and you find out that it's bigger than what you thought. You reveal this tile, and it's another space bigger, and so forth. So I kind of like that exploration sort of concept. In any event, you can either play with all the tiles revealed at the beginning of the game, following the strict reading of the rules, or you could play it by exploring as you go. Either way. Today in my playthrough, I'm going to do a little exploring as you go, and you'll see how that works. Anyway, the game consists of 5 rounds of play, and each round is broken up into 7 phases. And let me say right up front that the big gimmick of the game is a cube tower, which you don't see here, of course, but there's plenty of pictures of it and videos of it on BGG in the Amerigo forum. And it's basically a tower, like a dice tower, but it's really a cube tower. There's where you pour the cubes in on the top, and inside the tower there are all sorts of obstructions, and most of the cubes will fall out the bottom of the tower into the tray, but some of the cubes will get trapped on these little ledges inside the cube tower. And then as you add more cubes into the top, they might knock out some of the cubes that got stuck before, or they might get stuck, and all sorts of... So essentially the cubes that fall out at any given time will be kind of randomized to a certain degree, but for the most part, if you drop in, for example, 7 blue cubes, most of those blue cubes, because of gravity, are going to come out the bottom of the tray, in most cases. They might not, because of the number of cubes, they may knock out other cubes along the way, and so you may end up with a tray of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or maybe even 10 different cubes of colors. But on the other hand, if you drop in 3 blue cubes, that's not a whole lot there to knock around, and you might end up with only 1 cube coming out, no cubes coming out, or a couple. So you never quite know. And that's part of the fun of the game, and the tactile nature of the cube tower, and the fact all the sounds it produces when you drop the cubes in, that's part of the fun of the game. And part of the fun for me was creating this little simulation of the cube tower in this program that I wrote for myself. In any event, getting back to the way the game works, there are 7 phases, and they are color-coded. So there's a blue phase, a black phase, red, brown, green, yellow, and white. And what you're seeing here is sort of round 1 in the 7th phase, as an example. But during any particular phase, at the beginning of the game, you're going to take 49 cubes, because there are 7 cubes of each one of these phase colors, and 7 cubes of each times 7 different phases. So you got 49 cubes. You throw them all into the tower. It's all kind of fun. Most of them pour out the bottom, but some of them stay behind. Maybe 10, maybe 12, maybe 7 or 8 get trapped. You never quite know. And then you take all the cubes that fall out and you sort them by color. And then for each phase of a round, so you start with the blue phase, you take whatever blue cubes you have available because they fell out of the tower. There might be 7, they might be 1 or 2. You never quite know. And you drop them into the tower and you see what comes out. And then you take those cubes that came out and you put them in the center of this little board, so you can see what kinds of actions you can take during that round. So during any phase, after the cubes have come out the bottom, a player can take 1 action. And what they can choose from the available colors cubes that came out the bottom of the cube tower. For example, if only 1 color came out, then they really only have 1 action they can take. There's actually 1 bonus. There's a separate action they can take in addition. There's always a different action. But for the most part, at most, they can, at the very least, they can take 1 or possibly 1 action from a choice of 2. But at the most, it's possible, although not likely, that they might choose one of any of the 7 or 8 different actions that they can take. And I'll cover what all those different actions are. Now, they also, when they're executing one of those actions, they spend action points. And the number of action points they get to spend is equal to the most number of cubes that came out of the tower of any one color. So for example, and this is an extreme example, but suppose what came out of the tower was 7 white cubes, a yellow cube, a green cube, a brown, a red, a black, and a blue. Well, in this case, 1 of every kind of color came out, so therefore players can choose 1 of any of the actions to perform that phase. The number of action points they get to spend is equal to 7, regardless of which action they choose to take. So even though these are all 1s and this is a 7, you look at the one that's the biggest, the 7, and then that number of action points applies to all the different actions. And the players can then do 1 action of any one color, spending the action points available to them. And the fun of the game is, and the strategy of the game is which action you choose for at any particular time. There's a little bit of pressure and luck and gambling because you never know, you never quite know, especially toward the end of the game, which actions are going to be available at any particular time. There are progress tiles you can acquire in the game that give you special abilities and allow you to break the rules one way or another. So there's all sorts of things you can take advantage of during the course of the game. So let me cover what the different actions are. So first of all, the first action, blue, that's the first phase, is sailing. And most of your sailing is probably going to get done during the sailing phase because that's when most of the blue cubes are going to be available. But a blue cube might pop out in other places, during other phases of a round, and so you might be able to get, you might be able to do some sailing at other times if you want to. Now, when each player has 2 ships, and when you sail, you bring a ship out onto the edge of the board, like so, for example. And then you start moving around, and you spend action points to sail. So, for example, in this example, well, this says 7 action points. Yeah, in this example, there are 7 action points because there are 7 cubes. So I'm going to select sailing, and now you see 2 7s here because I have 2 ships. I could bring 1 ship over here, for example, and maybe I can bring 1 ship over here. And then I go about spending action points to sail, and each ship has 7 spaces they can move orthogonally. So this, in my depiction of the map, this edge tile is adjacent to these 5 island tiles. Your mileage may be different depending upon, if you're actually playing with the board game, and whether you're using the reveal as you go or already revealed. But in any event, you kind of go about moving around. Okay, sort of orthogonally like this. And I'm obviously moving more spaces than I'm allowed. In this case, I'd only be allowed to move my ship 7 spaces. When you encounter an anchor, like so, you have the option of ending your movement of that ship right then and there, and then establishing a trading post on the trading post space, assuming it's empty, adjacent to that anchor. So if you say yes, you take one of your 12 trading posts and you pop it on that. You place it on that space, and now you place you have an ownership stake, if you will, of that island. You might be co-owners with other players who also establish a trading post on that island. In this example, this island only has 1 trading post location, so Red effectively owns this island. But, for example, on this 20-space big island, and big is actually used to define an island that's 20 or more spaces, that consists of 20 or more spaces. This big island actually has 4 different anchor spots, 4 places where you can place trading posts. So in a 2-player game, 1 player might have 4 trading posts, or 2 players might have 2 each, or 1 player might only have 1, and that's it. So it all depends upon how exploring is done. So this ship, for example, now ends its movement on this anchor spot, but I still have 7 spaces that I can use to move this ship. So maybe I want to place a stake on this big island, so I come in here and here and here, and I say, yes, I want to establish a trading post. And so now this trading post allows me to settle this island and possibly obtain some of these commodities that exist on this island. All right, so that's essentially the sailing phase. I should point out that for scoring purposes, if you are the first person to establish a trading post on any one particular island, and by the way, in my revealing islands example, where that permits these diagonal connections, these are 2 different islands. A diagonal connection does not make an island. Does not make a single island. And in fact, in my sort of variant on the rules, in this one particular case, you can travel through this juncture diagonally. The only time you're allowed to move diagonally if you're crossing this sort of diagonal connection of land masses, and you have two sea spaces, one on opposite sides, you could spend 2 action points to cross through it. And I think that was originally Rahdo's idea, Richard Ham's idea, to treat it as a sort of tight canal-like juncture where you have to do some careful sailing, and it takes a little longer to get through. So you have to spend 2 action points to get through a space like that. All right, but if you're playing, again, by the strict reading of the rules and you reveal all these islands, you would never have a situation where you'd have islands that connect that way. All right, so that's one way to score points. You discover an island during sailing, and you earn 3 points anytime you're the first person to get a trading post on an island. If you put a second trading post on that island, you're not discovering it a second time. You discovered it once, and that's it. So there's only 3 points per island that can be earned. Anyway, moving on to Phase 2. Phase 2 is the cannon phase. And you can spend your action points to advance on your cannon track, which is on your player board. Everybody has a player board that looks like this. And the cannon track consists of 12 spaces. So, for example, in this example, if I were going to spend my 7 action points performing a cannon action, I would move my marker, my token here, 7 spaces to the 7th space on the track. And then in a future round, I might move another couple spaces or whatever the case may be. And the way the cannons are used to fight the pirates. Now, another variant, and this is the last one. In the strict reading of the rules, you reveal pirates at the beginning of each round. There are 6 pirate tiles, numbered 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you shuffle them up face down, and at the beginning of each round, you reveal 1 tile. And it might be a 0, it might be a 1, it might be a 2, or 3, or 4. And at the end of the round, you have to have cannons sufficient that basically equal to or greater than the number of pirates that have been seen so far, or strictly speaking, the total strength of the pirates that has been seen so far, the accumulated strength. And if you don't, then you spend those cannons anyway, and then you lose that number of points. So, for example, say it was the end of the second round, and at the beginning of the first round, you revealed a 4, and at the beginning of the second round, you revealed a 2. Well, at the end of the first round, you've only seen a 4, so at most you can lose 4 points if you don't have 4 or more cannons. But at the end of the second round, when there are 6 pirate strength, 4 from the first and 2 from the second, you have to have at least 6 cannons on your track, or you lose 6 points, and you spend whatever cannons you have in that case. So you're always going to be spending cannons. Whether or not it's possible, you might lose points in addition if you don't have enough to defeat the pirates. In my variant, I don't reveal the number of the pirate strength token until the end of the round. I think it's a little more fun when you don't quite know, is a number 4 going to show up or a 0? So in the first round, at most you're going to lose 4 points. But by the 5th round, it's possible you might lose as many as 10 points. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So it's kind of I like this little push your luck aspect of kind of trying to predict what it might be or guess what it might be and decide at whether or not you want to take a turn to invest in cannons to defend against the pirates. Okay, the red planning phase. Let me close this. In the red planning phase, you're going to buy buildings, building tiles. I call them settlement tiles. They look like these Tetris pieces, and each player is going to have a set of tiles in a supply that's their color, that are personal, that are sort of part of their collection, but they don't own yet because you have to buy them. Or there are also these neutral tiles that look like this that actually have some other varied shapes, like this U shape here. You don't have a tile that has has a shape like that, and you don't have a tile that is shaped like this one here, 2 by 3. But for the most part, most of the tiles are identical. The neutral tiles are more expensive, but they allow you to score more points with them later on when you place them and you actually settle on an island. So the way these all work is during the planning phase, you're going to spending, in this example, 7 action points to buy these tiles. Now, all your tiles, all the tiles that are colored your color, cost you 1, and then it's this number on this red spot, the space here. As you can see, they're all numbered 1, so they all cost 1. Later, when you're building or settling on an island and you're actually placing these Tetris-like pieces on an island, you're going to try to make sure they kind of fit like a puzzle, and you're going to score points either for as you place a tile. You're going to score, in this case, either 1 or 2 points, depending upon whether you're placing it on a small island, in which case you're only going to earn 1 point, or on a big island, in which case you'll earn 2 points. Now, during any particular planning phase, you are permitted to buy or spend action points buying 1 neutral tile. And you can see these vary in price. The 2-space tile costs 2, the 3-space tile costs 3, and so forth. The 6-space tile costs 6, and the 5-space U tile costs 5. When you place these, they score more points because you paid more to get them. So, for example, if you place this 5 action point cost tile on a building, on an island rather, if it's a small island, you'll earn 10 points as opposed to these measly 1 point using your own tiles. But it's possible if you place it on a big island, you'll earn as much as 15 points. So you can sort of decide how you want to spend your action points when you're investing in these tiles, but you are limited to only buying 1 neutral tile during any particular planning phase. All right, let's leave that. And the next brown phase is the progress phase, and that involves spending action points to advance on your progress track, which is this track right here containing the gear spaces. Every time you reach or surpass one of these spaces that has a number on it, which reflects victory points, every time you reach one of these spaces, you're allowed to take one of the available progress tiles that are on the storage board, which is here. And these are the progress tiles you can choose from. So, for example, this progress tile says that if you lose points because of pirates, you actually only lose half the points you would have normally lose. So in my example earlier, when you might have lost 6 points because of a 4 and a 2, in this example, you would have only lost 3 if you own this progress tile. This progress tile, when you're doing a yellow action, it allows you to spend 2 extra action points. And every action has one of those special tiles. This tile allows you to, when you see a red cube, you can treat it as if it were green, in a case where both red and green cubes didn't fall out the bottom of the cube tower. So there are all sorts of special abilities and rule-breaking effects and endgame scoring effects that you can get by purchasing these progress tiles. As far as the points are concerned, depicted on the track, you don't earn those until the end of the game. So at the end of the game, everybody looks at their progress track and it adds to their score the number that they have either reached or passed by most recently. You don't earn the sum of the numbers, you earn the last one that you reached. And if you happen to get to the end of your progress track and still have more action points to spend, because you can't move past the end of your progress track, you then convert each one of those action points into gold. And gold has a very special purpose that I'll talk about later in my description. Anyway, that's the brown progress action. The next action, the green action, is the building phase. That's when you take and I already talked about this, when you take the tiles that you purchased during the planning phase, those Tetris-like tiles, and you start placing them on islands adjacent to your trading post. You can't just place them on any island. You have to have at least one trading post. And you start by placing your first piece so it's adjacent to that, your trading post, and then other pieces can be adjacent to that piece, and so forth and so on. And when you place a piece, then you score the points associated with that piece. And you'll remember that each one of these pieces, neutral pieces, for example, might score 10 or 15 points, depending upon whether you're placing it on a small island or on a big island. In most cases, most islands are small. Actually, this one is 14, so this is a small island here. And in fact, in this arrangement, it looks like there's only one big island right here. But it is possible that you might have two big islands, but you wouldn't really have more than two. And you might not have any in a game. So anyway, when you place one of these little Tetris-like pieces, you score the points associated with that tile. Might be the small number if it's a small island, or it might be the big number if it's a big island. Now, if you happen to cover the entire island, if you're the person who places a piece that covers the entire, that ends or creates a situation where all the spaces of the island are covered, and you are permitted to cover empty trading post spaces, but you're not permitted, you don't cover actual spaces that have trading posts. A space that actually has a trading post on it already is already considered covered. So you would only have to cover in this example, all these other spaces, these 19 other spaces, if there was only one trading post space that was occupied. And if you were the person who actually places the last piece that covers the island, you score 3 points. Now, it should be obvious you're not allowed to have these pieces, these Tetris pieces, cover each other. They all have to stand apart, and they have to be adjacent to one another, but cover each one of the land spaces that make up the island. So if you're the person who covers the last space, you score 3 points. And at that time, you score for each player who has a trading post on that particular island. So let's say, as an example, that let's say a blue came in over here, and they decided not to build a trading post there, but they decided to sail and instead, yes. So now in this case, during scoring, once this is completely covered with settlement or building tiles, in this case, red's going to score and blue's going to score. And the number of points you're going to score is equal to the number of trading posts you have actually converted into a progressive series of numbers. For example, if you have one trading post, it actually has a value of 1. But if you have 2 trading posts, it has a value of 3. If you have three trading posts, it has a value of 6. So it's a number that grows not in a Fibonacci sequence, but in a sequence like that, where one number adds to the previous sum. So it's 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, like that. And multiply it by 5 in the first round of the game, 4 in the second round of the game, all the way down to 1 in the 5th round of the game. I should also point out that on big islands like this, there's a treasure chest. So if you're the person who covers the island, the last person who places that last piece that covers the island, you get to take that treasure chest. And that treasure chest is equivalent to 3 gold. You can spend it for 3 spaces on your gold track. Moving on, the yellow phase is the produce phase. And in the produce phase, you can buy production tiles, and they basically look just like the commodity tiles that you acquire when you place a piece on an island. And so let's say I placed pieces on islands that allowed me to collect 3 coffee commodities. Okay, let's say I covered this tile and this tile and this tile, and I actually acquired 3 coffee tokens, commodity tokens. If over the course of the game I bought 3 or say 4 coffee production tiles, at the end of the game I'm going to score the product of those 2 numbers. So if I had 3 commodity tiles of coffee and I had 4 production tiles of coffee, I would score 12 points from those tiles. And there are 5 commodity types, for 5 good types, so for each one of those goods, you could possibly score points. Everybody starts on their player board with 1 production of each one of the 5 types, of the 5 goods. But unless you get at least 1 commodity, you're not going to score any points for that type of good. Now, when you're spending action points in the production phase, you're actually spending them to buy these tiles. So there might be a 2-cost cotton tile, there might be a 3-cost cotton tile, there might be a 4-cost cotton tile. But that's the range. They either cost 2, 3, or 4, and these are all shuffled and randomly disseminated on the storage board. And in a 2-player game, there's 6 of these tiles. In a 3-player game, there's 8. And in a 4-player game, there's as many as 10. And so that's how you score using these production and commodity tiles at the end of the game. It's a product of the 2 that you own. You don't go by the number that you spent, of the number of action points on the tile that you spent to get it. Once you buy it, it's just 1 tile. So you're only strictly multiplying the number of tiles you have, not the value of the tiles that you have. Okay, in the white phase, you can do 2 different things. You can either advance on this turn order track here. At the beginning of the game, players are randomly chosen to be the first player, the second player, the third player, and so forth. And the second player gets 1 gold, the third player gets 2 gold, the fourth player would get 3 gold, but the first player starts with 0 because he has advantage of going first. So you have a choice if you're using the white action. In the white action, you can either advance that number of action points worth of spaces on the track, and you'll notice that these have numbers on them as well. You'll score points according to those numbers in the same way that you scored points for the for your progress track at the end of the game. So you could either advance on the turn order track to try to become the first player or the second player or whatever the case might be. Or if you're on one of these colored spaces, you can use that color's action and perform that action. So if, say, only a white cube and a yellow cube came out in one particular phase, a yellow cube and a white cube came out, but you happen to be on a brown space. Well, that allows you to take the brown action. So you do one or the other. You either advance on the turn order track or you use the colored action that your token occupies on the turn order track. Finally, the action that you can always take in any particular phase is where you take all the number of cubes that are in the tray that came out of the cube tower, regardless of whether it's the most or the least, whatever. You just add up all those cubes. In this example, it would be 13. You divide by 3. You round up. So 13 divided by 3 is 4 and a fraction. So you'd round up to 5, and you can take that much in gold. And during the course of the game, you can spend gold as if it was an action point. So if I got, in this particular turn, if I had 3 gold and this particular turn afforded me 7 actions, I could spend 2 of my 3 gold to have 9 actions to spend. So gold are sort of like bonus actions, and you can spend those at any time to get more actions, have more actions available to you. So those are the 8 different actions: sailing, cannons, planning, progress, building, production, turn order track, and finally just taking gold. So you're going to, during each phase, you're only going to pick one of those actions. And at the end of the game, you're going to score points equal to the amount of gold you've collected. And remember, you might have some treasure chests that are equivalent to 3 gold if you didn't already spend them for the gold. You might have points from your progress track and points from progress tiles that you accumulated over the course of the game. You might have points from the turn order track. And you score all those points, and if you go beyond the 12th space of your goal track, you score a point for each point that you go, each space you go beyond, and then you also score a point for where your token is on the goal track. So if you ended the game on the 8th space, you'd get 8 points. If you ended the game on what might have been the 15th space, if there were 15 spaces, you'd get 15 points. Okay. As I already pointed out, you would also score at the end of the game the product of your commodity and production tiles. You multiply those number of tiles together. In the earlier example, I had 3 of a commodity, I think, and 4 of a production, and so 3 times 4 would get me 12 points from that particular good. And you do that for each one of the 5 goods. You get the number of points you got from your progress track. You get the number of points you got from your the turn order track. Whatever space you reach there, you might at best you could reach the space at the end of the track that allows you to take any action and is worth 15 points at the end of the game. And anyway, the person with the most points wins the game. So that's how this game works. You can see it's kind of light. There's not a whole lot to it. But it's kind of fun with the gimmick of the cube tower and predicting what's going to fall out at any one point. So that's the way that's the way the game works. So let's actually play a quick 2-player version of the game. I'm going to be playing blue versus red, and I'm going to be going through this pretty quickly. It's not going to be there's not going to be a lot of mind-blowing strategy here in the way there was when I was demonstrating the game's Zhang. And you can see I'm starting with an empty board of 3 by 3. And so as soon as I click OK here, all 49 of these cubes are going to get tossed into the cube tower. Some number of them are going to stay behind, are going to get stuck with, and this little column represents which cubes are stuck inside the tower. So you're going to take all these cubes that came out, they're going to be sorted by color. And then in the blue phase, which is the first phase, those cubes are going to get dropped into the tower, and we're going to see what comes out. So here we go. So 43 cubes came out, 6 blue cubes went in, and 6 cubes came out, 4 blue and 2 white. So one more time, 37 cubes came out, 43 cubes came out of the tower, 6 got stuck. We took the number of blue cubes available to us, which was 6, threw them into the top of the tower, and what came out was 4 blue cubes and 2 white cubes. So now the blue player, who was randomly chosen to go first, now he gets to spend 4 action points, because that was the most number of cubes of one color that came out. And he can either spend those 4 points on the sailing action, the blue sailing action, or he can spend them on the white turn order action, or he can just convert the 6 cubes that fell out into 2 gold, because 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So the blue player was the first player. He started with 0 gold. But he's going to start by sailing, because he wants to get some quick points, perhaps by sailing to different anchor spaces and discovering some islands. So he's going to choose the sailing action. He has 2 different ships, so he's going to bring his first ship here. And let's see, he is actually going to come around this. Yeah, he's going to come around this side. So he's going to come over to here. Actually, it thinks I'm bringing my other ship on board, but that's fine. And he's going to take this ship and spend 1 action point to land on this particular space, which is also going to reveal this next island, because he's going to be adjacent to it. And now blue has the option of establishing a trading post, and he's going to say yes. So he's going to place a blue trading post on this island, which is currently 9 spaces in size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but might be bigger depending upon what gets revealed over here. So he wanted to land there because there was the chance that it might be a big island. This other ship, let's see. he's going to kind of just come over here and see what's over here. Okay, so now he knows that this is a very small island. He's going to land on this island here because this might be big. We don't know what's over here. The chances are pretty good there's something that extends the size of this island, which is currently size 12. So he's going to land here. He has to come here first, and then he lands here. And he is going to establish a trading post on the island. Okay, so he has scored 6 points, 3 points for discovering each one of these islands. So anyway, he's landed his 2 ships at anchor spots. He ends his turn, and now it's the red player's turn. And the red player can either do the sailing action or do the turn order action. And just for fun, because he has 1 gold and he's going second, he's going to use the turn order action. The only thing he can do is advance on the turn order track because he doesn't have another color that his token lands on. So he's going to advance 4 spaces on the turn order track, and now he's the new first player. So he's the first player now, and blue is the second player. Okay, so he ends his turn. We'll move on to the second phase, where these 6 black cubes are going to get dropped into the tower, and we're going to see what falls out. So these 4 blue cubes are going to get collected. They're going to get returned, and then we're going to drop the 6 in, and the 6 are going to mix with these other cubes that are stuck in the tower, these other 6 cubes, and we're going to see what comes out. So 6 black cubes went in, 6 black cubes came out, and also came out with a red and a green cube. So a total of 8 cubes came out, 3 possible actions in addition to the special gold action, and it's red's turn. Now red can take the cannon action, but you know what? Worst case is he might lose 4 points due to the pirates. He doesn't want to waste a turn on cannons right now. He might worry about that later on. He can't do the build action because he doesn't have any tiles to place on islands. But he's going to take the planning action so that he can start planning, start buying tiles. So he is going to take the planning action where he can buy at most 1 of these neutral tiles and 1 or more of these of his own colored red colored tiles, and these accumulate in his player area, and he can spend 6 action points. And he might decide to spend his gold to actually get a 7th point. So we'll see. I think he doesn't know which islands he's on yet, but he's going to plan on getting to some sort of big island. So he's going to gamble and get this big scoring tile. He has to spend 6 points, all 6 points on it. But he's going to gamble because this is worth 12 points if he can place it on a big island. And he hasn't landed a trading post anywhere yet, but he's counting on the fact that he might be able to do this soon. So he's going to spend all 6 points on this tile, and that's it. That's all he can do. So that ends his turn. He could spend this gold and get one of these. He could buy this little tile here, but he's going to hold on to that gold maybe for something else. He's not going to spend it right now. So he's going to end his turn, and now it's blue's turn, and blue can spend 6 action points on any one of these actions, and he too is going to do the planning phase, but he's going to do something a little different. He knows what kind of islands he wants to fill, and there was only one of those big 6-space neutral tiles available. This little black number is the quantity of tiles that exists of that type. So red has already snatched that one up, but he's going to spend his 6 action points on, let's see, there's this little L space point here. So he's going to buy this little L-shaped neutral tile. No, actually, better yet, he's going to buy this 4-space square neutral tile. And then he's going to buy, in addition, one of his L-shaped tiles. That's only 1 point that he has to spend, and he's one point remaining. So he's going to spend that on one of these one-space tiles. His plan is to put the L here, the square here, and the one pointer in this little corner here, although he might decide at some point to sail here and land a trading post instead. So he doesn't quite know how that's going to work out, but he's going to try to be flexible. Okay, so he ends his turn. 7 red cubes go in, 6 cubes came out, 5 red and 1 blue. So 5 actions are available. It's the red's turn, and now red's going to sail because he hasn't sailed yet. So he wants to see what's over here. So he's going to bring his ship here. You have to first choose the sailing action. He's going to bring his first of 2 ships. Okay, so he sees this is a small island. It's only 17 spaces big, but it's a place where you can possibly build that giant tile that he bought in the last phase. So he's going to bring this ship here and land and create a trading post. It's not going to, it's not going to give him any points because he didn't discover this island. And then he's going to bring his other ship over here, and he has 5 points to spend. He's going to come down here. Okay, so he sees these just are a bunch of small islands here. He's going to land, he's going to come here and land on this island and establish a trading post and score 3 points. So he's got 3 points on his board right now. 6-3 is the score at this point. Okay, he ends his turn. Now the blue player's turn. The blue player can now take either the sailing action, the planning action, or take 2 gold. And he's going to sail. He wants to get another trading post, so he's going to, on this same island, so he's going to sail over here and land here and establish a second trading post. Okay, so that all trading post spaces on this island have now been established. There are no more to be had. And now with this particular, what is it? This one's, here's a big island right here. So this one's 20 spaces big. So he's going to take this ship, and he wants to get over here and land and get 3 points for this big island because he wants to establish a stake here. So now he's got 2 trading posts on what turned out to be a big island. I'm sorry, he didn't get points because he didn't discover this island. It's actually part of this island, and he already scored 3 discovery points for it. But he now has 2 trading posts, so when this island gets covered, if and when it gets covered, it's going to be worth a lot of points. So he ends his turn, and then we move on to the next phase. 7 brown cubes went in, 4 brown cubes came out. So each player has to take either the progress action or they can exchange those cubes for 2 gold. So the red player is going to take the progress action because if you look on the storage board, on the player board, 4 spaces get you to this first place where you can take one of the first progress tiles. So he's going to take that progress action, advance 4 spaces, and now he gets a choice of one of these 8 progress tiles. So this one gives him 2 extra planning points, 2 extra sailing points. This one always lets him move to wherever the starting player happens to be on the turn order track, regardless of the number of spaces. This makes red and green interchangeable. I think he's thinking he might take that. This one increases the pirate strength for his opponent by a value of 2. This one allows him to divide by 2 instead of dividing by 3 to determine how many gold you can take if you decide not to take one of the other 7 actions. This one breaks the rule of 1 neutral tile only. This allows him to take 2 neutral tiles instead of 1. And this one gives him an extra 2 spaces on the progress track. He might actually do that. No, I think he's going to grab this red-green. And then if possible, if blue doesn't grab this other one, he might grab it, but we'll see what happens. So he's going to take this red equals green progress tile and end his turn. And now it's the blue player's turn. So the blue player is also, he wants to grab a progress tile as well. So he's going to advance to the same space on his player board. And he now can take a progress tile. And in fact, he is going to take this +2 progress, which will allow him to get 2 extra spaces anytime he takes a future progress action. So he's going to grab that. End his turn. And now it's the green phase. 7 green cubes go in, 5 green, 1 brown, and 1 red come out. And it's the red player's turn. And the red player can take the red action, the brown action, the green action, or take gold. And he is going to take the build action. Okay. And he has this neutral tile that costs him 6 action points to use to build. So he's going to spend his gold and make this 6 action points instead of 5. That's going to allow him to place this tile, and he is going to place it right here because it's adjacent to his trading post, which is right here. So he's going to place it right here. And that's going to score him, what is that, 12 points, because 6 points. What is it, 6 points for that? No, 12 points, I'm sorry. 12 points on a small island, 18 points on a big island. So this is going to be worth 12 points when he places it. That's what he's going to do, so his score goes up to 15. He was at 3 previously. So he ends his turn. Because that's all he can do, and now it's the blue player's turn, and the blue player is also going to build, and he's going to take this the square tile he bought and place it here. Well, let's see. No, better yet, he's going to come over to this big island because it's worth more points. So this neutral tile is going to score him 12 points because he's placing it on a big island. So he's going to place it actually here in the corner. Well, no, he'll place it here. So that gets him 12 points. So now he's up to 18 points. And now he's going to take this this L-shaped tile and he's going to rotate it. And he's going to place it right here because it's adjacent to this tile, but it's also adjacent to his trading post, so it is perfectly legal. No, you know what, better yet, he's going to rotate it and place it in this corner like this. Okay, so he's going to need a 1-space tile to place in here. Okay, that's marked with B because it's one of his personal blue tiles. As opposed to this, which was a neutral tile. It's marked with an X. Okay. Now it's the yellow phase. 4 yellow tokens go in, and one black and 1 blue came out. And by the way, I haven't been pointing out that the blue player has so far accumulated a coconut commodity tile. And the red player has also accumulated a coconut commodity tile. And that's about all the commodity tiles that have been covered so far. This was the coconut that the red player got, and here's the coconut that the blue player got. Okay, so it's the red player's turn. He can spend 4 action points on sailing, cannons, produce, or gold. And you know what he's going to do? He doesn't want to lose 4 points because he's behind. He's kind of lagging in the score, so he's going to actually spend those 4 action points on cannons, which means that no matter what happens at the end of the round, he's protected. He's not going to lose any points due to pirates. Okay, that ends his turn. So he advances to the 4th space on the cannon track. He ends his turn, and now it's the blue player's turn. The blue player is going to sail. And he's going to bring this ship over here because now he totally monopolizes this big island. He's got 3 trading posts. That's potentially worth 6 times some number of points once he covers this island. But he has a long way to go to cover the island. And with his other ship, he's going to come down here and land on this island and score 3 points and establish a trading post. And he doesn't know. It might be big, it might be small. But it'll score him 3 points. And now he's increased the score to 23 to 15. But he's got this big island that he's looking forward to covering at some point as soon as possible. He's sorry he didn't get that red equals green progress tile that the red player snatched up. Okay, he ends his turn. Finally, the white phase, so 7 white cubes go in, and we got a bunch of different actions we can take. Most action points that can be spent, though, are only 3. And it's now the red player's turn. He can spend 3 on planning, progress, building, or turn order. And because he has the red equals, well, actually both red and green happen to come out. And he, on the progress track, is on the brown space, but the brown cube came out, so he didn't actually get anything out of that. Let's see, what does he want to do? If he advances 3 spaces, he'll land on a blue space. He wants to stay put for the time being on the brown space of the turn order track, so he's not going to take the turn order action per se. He doesn't have any tiles that he can build with. He is going to do some more planning. Can't do a lot with 3 action points, but he's going to do what he can. So he's going to plan. And what does he want to get? Maybe a 4, maybe an L shape, a 4 space long one, and a 3 space long one, maybe something like that. So let's grab an L shape, a 4 space, and a 3 space. So he's got 3 tiles that he bought. They're not worth a lot of points, but they're worth some number of points. And he'll end his turn. Now it's the blue player's turn. Now the blue player has also used all of the tiles that he had from planning, and so he's going to take the planning action as well. And he has 3 action points, and what does he want to get? He needs a single. He wants to get a square. Well, let's see. Yeah, he'll get a square, a single, a 2, and a single. So he needs 2 singles, a 2, and a square. But he's only going to be able to buy 3 of those. You know what? He's going to grab this neutral tile. No, he can't. That costs 4 points. He only has 3. You know what? He'll buy the L-shaped neutral tile with plans on placing it in here. And now, let's see, if he places that there, he'll buy another L-shape, one of his. Oh no, he just spent all 3 points on buying that neutral tile. But it will be worth a lot of points when he actually builds with it. So he ends his turn. Now, 4 pirates attacked. So the blue player lost 4 points, but the red player spent his 4 cannons on defeating those pirates. So now we're moving into the next phase. 6 blue cubes are going to go in, and we're going to see what comes out. Only 3 blue cubes came out. It's the red player's turn. So we can either do a blue action or convert to gold. And let's see. He could sail to this little measly island. Yeah, you know what? Maybe he will. because it is the second round, so if he covers it, it's going to be worth, what, 4 points to him? Something. So he's going to sail. And he'll come over here and establish a trading post. And with this ship, he'll come over here and establish a trading post. Okay, so he's gotten 6 points for that, and now he's all of a sudden in the lead. And now it's the blue player's turn. And let's see, he only has 3 action points he can spend. He can land here. He can explore with this. Maybe he wants to explore to see what he's got. So he'll sail. He'll come down here. Okay, so this is a small island. He'll come over here to see what's over here. Okay, so he'll bring himself 1 space closer in this direction and end his turn. Or this ship, oh, this ship hasn't moved yet, so he's going to move to there. Okay. Black phase. So it's the red player's turn. Cannons. So now if we look on the red player's player board, you can see that he's back into the 0 space on the cannon track, but he saved himself 4 points. Now, the worst possible case at the end of this round is that the number 3 pirate token will come out. That'll be 7 points. And you'll notice that the red player can also take the progress action because the white cube came out and he is on a brown space on the turn order track. So that's why he's allowed to take the red progress action. I'm sorry, the brown progress action, in addition to the blue and the black and the white actions. And let's see, 4 is not going to be enough to get him to the next juncture. He needs 5 to get to the next place where he can get a progress token. So he might wait on that. Let's see. Well, you know, he knows that the pirates are going to be minimum of 4. So he's going to get cannons. Okay, so he's back to the 4th space on the cannon track. Blue player's turn. You know what? He's going to do the same thing. He doesn't want to take a chance. He's going to get 4 cannons and probably plan on getting some more to protect against the worst possible case of 7 pirates. Okay? Okay, so now in this phase, we've got 3 red, 1 yellow, and 1 white. And the red player, it's his turn, and what does he have? He's got some tiles that he's ready to lay, and he can take the green build action because he has that. Anytime there's a red cube, he can also take the green action, so that's why that action's available to him. And he can take the brown progress action because he's on the brown space on the turn order track, and a white cube came out. So that's why those additional actions are available to him. He is going to build. So now he's going to be able to build all of these, and he wants to. Darn it, he doesn't. Let's see. Okay, he's going to use this L shape. And he's going to rotate it, and he's going to place it right here, so he's going to complete this island. So it's going to score him 1 point for placing the tile. It's going to score him 3 points for completing the island, and then he's going to score 1 point times 4 equals 4 points for completing the island. So what's that? 3 plus 1 plus 4. So he's going to get 8 points. It should take him to 29 if my calculations are correct. 29. Okay. So one island the first island's been finished, and the score is 29 to 22. Now we can continue building. He's got a 4 spacer and a 3 spacer. So let's see. You can't do anything up here, so he can build down here. He's going to use his 4 and rotate it and place it here. And then he's going to use his 3 and rotate it and place it here. Remember, you can't place it on top of an existing trading post. So I'm going to place that there. So now he needs a 2 and another 2, unless he decides to sail around and grab a second spot. And he might do that if he gets the chance. So now it's the blue player's turn, and what is he going to do? He only has the neutral L-shaped tile. Can't build. But he's going to do some more planning so that because he wants to finish this island off as quickly as possible. So let's see. He needs. He definitely needs a. He needs a 1. Well, let's see. If he puts an L in here, he has an L. Then he'll need a 3 and a 2 and a 1. He needs a 3, a 2, and a 1. So a 3, a 2, and a 1. So he bought everything he needs to finish this island off. I think I've accounted for all the spaces. Did I? A 3. Oh no, he needed 2 2s. No, wait, he had the L, so he has the L. Did I do this correctly? Let's see, if he puts the L in here, he has a 3, a 2, and a 1. Oh, he needed another 1, but he's run out of action points, so he's not going to be able to quite do it here, but he's hoping he's going to be able to do it because he wants to get those points. That's worth 15 points for covering this island if he can do it in this phase. Okay, he ends his turn. And the red player is going to take the progress action. So he lands on another spot that allows him to take another progress tile. And what's he going to do? Now, you'll notice, first of all, that new production tiles have come out. And the 4 progress tiles that were here in the last round slid over here. That's why 1 space is empty. And 4 new ones came out here. He's going to be nasty. No. Let's see. Every time he defeats the pirates, he can get 2 gold. Anytime he does the blue or the red action, he gets 1 extra action point. He's gonna. He would like some gold, and he's planning on defeating the pirates if at all possible. So he's gonna grab this one. It's relatively early in the game, so he could possibly get as much as 8 gold from that if he keeps his cannons up. Okay. He ends his turn. Blue player's turn. He can only sail or do progress. He's going to do progress as well, because advancing on this track is worth points, and getting these progress tiles can be very advantageous. He's going to use... I don't know if this is worth it to him in the long run. This one's worth 7 points flat out at the end of the game. You know, he's going to grab that just for 7 points. Okay. Ooh, lots of different actions that the red player can choose from, and he doesn't have any tiles that he can use to build. Uh, 3 action points. And I'm sorry, what did he buy again? Red equals green, and he's going to grab cannons while he can. So now he's safe against whatever might come with the pirates. And he's guaranteed to get 2 gold. The blue player wants to build because he has all these tiles that he bought. So he has only 3 action points to spend. He's gonna use his number. Let's see, if he puts his L there, so he's gonna rotate and put his. He'll put his 3 here. This one costs 3 action points he can't spend. He'll take his 2 and place it here. Grabs him a cotton. And he'll take his 1 and stick it here in the corner. So now he's covered all but this L shape, but he can't do that, and he's got to get another single for this little empty spot here. But he's close. Ooh, more building. Yellow, but I don't think anybody has any tiles to spend. No, they don't. Let's see, 2 action points, and because of what he has available to him, the red player has lots of choices. He's going to do some planning because he doesn't have anything on his. He doesn't have any tiles. He wants to finish this island pretty quickly, so he's going to grab a. This one's worth more points. He'll grab this. It's going to be worth 2 extra points to him when he places it. So that ends his turn. Blue player's turn. Blue player only has 2 action points to spend. Let's see. I'll get him on the black action. He's gonna take the turn order action, which will advance his token to the black space, so that if a white cube comes out, and the chances are a white cube will come out in the next phase, he'll be able to grab some additional cannons to protect against the pirates, because he doesn't want to take a chance on losing a lot of points. So he's going to take the turn order action. It's going to advance his token to here. He'll end his turn, and we see what comes out next. So 2 action points to spend, and the red player, so what does he have? He has a neutral 2. He's going to build right now before this round ends. So he's going to choose the building action. He's going to take this neutral. It's going to be worth 4 points when he places it. He completes the island, so it's going to be worth 3 additional points. That's 6. And then he has 1 trading post times 4 because he's in the second round, so that's 10 points worth for this. Brings him up to, maybe 11 points. Did I miscalculate it? I may have not added correctly, but he's up to 42. Okay, ends his turn. Blue player's turn. He needs to plan so that he's not going to be able to do it in this round, though. He really wanted to cover that island in this round, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen until next round. That's too bad. Shoot, that would have been worth a lot more points. Well, it would have been worth 6 more points. But no choice. So he's going to plan. So he needs a single and an L. So he's going to grab those so he's guaranteed to finish it next round. He'll grab a single. Well, he already has the L. But it's always nice to have another L, so he'll grab another L. And now he's out of his own L shapes. And now he ends his turn. Only one pirate came out, so the blue player, he never was able to take the cannon action again, so he lost 5 points. Wow. And the red player got 2 gold and had enough cannons to defeat the pirates. Because he had, I think he had 7 cannons, so now he's on the second space of his cannon track. So now all of a sudden the red player is in really good shape, and the blue player is hurting a little bit, but he's still counting on getting a lot of points from this big island. It looks like it's going to be the only big island on the board. New round, round 3. Okay, sailing, a red player, sailing, progress, or turn order. And what does he have? Okay. Yeah, he is on the second space of the cannon track. He's going to continue to advance on the progress track. This might be a little, well, no, takes that back. Let's see. I think he's going to sail. He's going to bring this ship down here and establish a second trading post on this island. And then with this ship, he's going to come out here, come down here, and then come here, and co-share this island with blue. And he will end his turn. Blue player, well, he's hurting. Now he's hurting because he just spent cannons and lost 7 points anyway. He doesn't want that to happen again. No, he lost 5 points, sorry, not 7. But he lost all of his cannons in the process. He's going to buy 4 cannons while he can, and he's going to count on getting more cannons during the rest of this turn. And now it's the cannon phase, only 2 action points available. The red player can do anything he wants. 5 actions came out. He's on the brown space of the turn order track, and red equals green. So he can do any one of the 8 possible actions. But he only has 2 action points to spend. And let's see. He's going to plan. And he's going to buy one of his square tiles and one of his 2 tiles. His hope is that if he can build using his red equals green progress tile, if he can build before blue, he can shut blue out and not let blue build anything on this island, because he can totally block him. But then he'll still need a number 1 tile to finish it off. Okay. Let's see. It's the blue player's turn. Two cannons really isn't much. Then again, he doesn't know when black might show up again, so he's going to grab the 2 cannons while he can, because he's just hurting. So now he's on the 6th space of the cannon track. Not sure what's going to come out. Okay, it is 4 action points in this phase, red and black. And red is going to grab some cannons. He's not going to let blue just be the only one to play that game, so he's up to 6. And blue's going to stock up on cannons. Does he? Yeah, he has what he needs to finish that big island, but he's still waiting to get a build phase. He's going to grab the cannons. So he's up to 10. So he's covered now. Because the worst that can possibly happen is that a 3 comes out. So that's 8 is the worst possible case. Red is a little bit shy of that number. Brown phase. 3 action points. Brown. Red can do the brown, red, or green actions. Okay, so red effectively blocked blue out of that island, which is unfortunate for him. But he still will get bonuses once he completes it. Okay, so let's build. Finish this 20 off finally. That's going to be using up all of his points unless he doesn't have any gold. He wants to finish it, so let's finish it. Alright, finally get some good score on the board. And let's see where we can put this neutral. Oh, we can't. There's not enough points to do it. So ends the turn. 2 action points. We're not getting great action points here. Well, red could block. Let's I think he's going to plan again and look for a 3 and a 1, maybe. A 3 and a 1. And blue, actually, red probably should have gotten cannons. This might be his last chance. That could have been a mistake on his part. Got that neutral, and you can't, still 2 points is not enough. You could really use some gold. You know what, I think he's going to take this opportunity just to get some gold on hand. Oh my god, 1 action point. Produce. That's not even enough to do anything. So, he could use his gold, but let's see, what does he have? He does have 2 coconuts, 2 sugar, and what else is red going to be looking at getting? Some more coconut here, some more sugar. Maybe he'll. I hate to see, it'd be a pain to use his gold for that. I think he'll just take another gold. And blue will do the same. Last phase for this round. Still no black. Hope red doesn't regret that. And still only 2 points. I guess he can build his player 3 and player 1. And again, blocking blue out. Oh, well, he could have put the, he never really, he had the opportunity to finish this round, but he didn't. Again, another mistake. And blue, well, let's see. Maybe he'll plan, get some stuff that he can actually use here. I think he's going to buy a 1. Or should he buy 2 of his own? Maybe he'll buy 2 of his own. Guarantee finishing. No, he can't get in there, I forgot. And he can't get in here. Oh, and he does have a treasure chest. Let's go ahead and use that. Get some 3 gold. Forgot about that. I think he's just going to buy just a 1, a neutral 1. Oh, he can get in here. Maybe you should start working on that. That didn't have a number next to it. I wonder if that's a bug. That's odd, because this doesn't have a number next to it either. I wonder if it allowed me to take a 3 when I should. Because here, again, this doesn't have a number on it either. But I think I'm going to take a 2. That's odd. Something weird is going on with the quantity count here. In any event, 2 pirates come out, and red just lost series points. Wow. Oh, that was a big mistake on his part when he didn't take those 2 cannons. Round 4. Red. I think it's time to do some planning. He'd like to finish off some of these islands. He needs a 2 and a 1. He does have it. I think he'll grab a neutral 2. Something's weird with these quantities. And 1 of his own 1s. I don't know. I'm not paying attention. Blue. Alright, let's get some building done. darn. Okay. Oh, he has plenty of gold. Yeah, I think he's going to use it. What does he need here? 3? Yeah. All right. He's making headway. We'll nice comeback here for blue. 3 cannons. It's not much, but it's a start. So man, he's gonna have to guarantee. He's got to make sure he can get it later. Oh boy. All right, he's gonna spend his gold. He doesn't want to make this mistake again. So he's taking 6 cannons. Blue can get 7 cannons. I guess he will. At this point, the pirates are getting serious. Okay, a chance for 3 more cannons. He's at 6. So what's worst case here? 4, 3, basically 10 is worst case. She would have liked 4, but I'll take a chance on 3. Black is covered. He's got 10. So I think he wants to make some more inroads on progress. Or should he do turn order? Because which will get him to the build space and put him back in first place and 1 point. Where is he on the progress track? 3 space isn't quite enough. 3 spaces isn't quite enough. Let's do turn order for a change. So he's back in first place. Wow, this is awful. What's 1 point worth? Man. Nobody's done any production. Well, maybe a little production. No, nobody's done any production. He's covered in cannons. You know what? Let's grab some gold. Red. Chance to get the cannon he needs to get to 10. He'll take it. Oh boy. Everything's stuck inside the, and we're not getting big enough numbers to knock stuff loose. What are we going to do here? Time for some building, maybe? Boy. 2 points of sailing just isn't going to do anything for him. You could take 3 gold. Maybe that's a good idea. All right. Red. What do you have? Neutral 2. Maybe he'll take 3 gold too. Come on, give us some. Oh, jeez, this is awful. All right, you know what? He's going to start accumulating some progress because he has nothing to build. Time to get on the progress. Oh, right, he has the +2 progress. Totally forgot about it. Oh, man. Okay, what can we make use of here? It's a little late for that. Some of these +2s would be helpful. +2 on cannons. It's late. Maybe, yeah, he's going to take +2 cannons. Okay, what do you have? 2 gold on pirates, which he didn't get last time. Red and green. Oh, yes, we're going to build. Let's increase to 3. And now I can get this built here. And I can get that built there. And finally finish that island. Nothing's knocking anything loose here. Blue should do some planning because he's kind of gotten stuck. He could use it. Maybe you should get an L, a neutral L. I think that's what he's going to get. And that. And red. What do you have? He'll do some planning as well. Do some planning as well. What is he? He needs a 2 and a 1. A 2 and a 1. Oh man, 3 pirates, but everybody succeeded. And everybody's cannons are down to 0. And it is now round 5. 1 action. This is sad. I think Blue's going to take advantage. He's the one with the +2 cannons. He's going to start accumulating cannons. He has a lead now. Nobody's gotten production. Maybe Red should do that. What do we have out here? He's got 3 sugar. He uses his can. Oh man. Maybe he should just get cannons. Five cannons. Start. Alright, so it's not going to be worse than 10. It is going to be 10. Well, there's something serious. Alright, Blue's going to grab 5. Actually, he's going to 6, 7. He will now be covered on cannons. So he's good for the... Oh, no, he has +2. Oh, crap. Well, whatever. Okay. Shoot. Well, he could do cannons now and just get points. 1 point per cannon. He's at the end of the track. And this is Red's chance to get his 10 cannons. Alright, so pirates now are not anything serious to worry about. Blue, can you grab some... Yeah, he's going to sail. He's going to bring this guy over to here. gets 3 points there, and he'll spend a gold to come. Oh, no. All right, well, shoot. We should have come down to here. I'm going to undo. Okay, that's better. Now he's going to bring this guy. Oh, he needed that to get to 4, so he's going to do that and then come down to 3, 4. Okay, he needs to finish this. What does he have? He has an L. Okay, he just needs a build. Red. What do you have? You have a neutral 2. Where are you looking to build? Okay. That's what he needs. So let's build. Take a neutral 2, rotate it, and put it right in there. And take his 1 and put it in there and finish off that island. Alright, now he's competitive again. Sailing progress now. Blue is the one with +2 progress. 6 progress will 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough, but he's got a gold. He's going to do 7 progress. And maybe 5 gold because it's worth 5 points. Okay, so we took that, and actually maybe he'll just spend it right now and take 5 points. Or should he hold on to it? No, he's going to take the points. Actually, oh, no. I got confused. He's just at 6 gold. Okay, sorry. Got confused there. Red. Right, Red. What's on your agenda here? You still need to finish this island. You don't have what you need. Oh, we can't plan. Can't believe he hasn't finished that island yet. He's kind of losing where he is here. Maybe he'll grab some produce. I think he'll grab a... Does he have coffee? He doesn't actually have any coffee. No, that's tobacco, sorry. That's not gonna be of any value. Let's see, he's got 4 points. Coffee, he doesn't have any coffee. Should we spend it on the coconut? Yeah, probably better on the sugar. Let's grab the sugar. And we have the 2 points. We might as well use it. Oh man. This is serious. This is awful. Okay, time to use some gold. Oh, we can't build. Are you kidding me? 5 green went in and all got stuck? Are you serious? I wonder if this is a problem with my cube tower. It might be. Oh, jeez. Let's grab a point. It's pretty sad. What do you have? Nothing there. don't have a... Oh, jeez. Let's grab a quick gold. Come on, come on! Well, that's a little better. Okay, Blue, what do you need? You've got coconut and coffee. I guess we're grabbing the coffee. You don't have any sugar cane, right? No. What did I just grab? Wait a minute. What the heck did I just grab? Coconut. Oh, okay. 2 points worth. And what else was in there? Yeah, sugar. I don't really need sugar. But it's something. I don't know if it's worth spending gold on. No, it's not worth spending gold on. So let's pass on that. Red. Alright, maybe we'll get lucky and get a chance to build. So let's grab, what do we need? We needed a 1 and a 1. A 1 and a 1. Now we just have to hope we can build. Yes! Alright. You can build, right? It's not going to be enough, but it's something. Or should we grab the progress? 7 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add 1 to that, and we just go to the end of the track. And we can grab a progress. We'll grab 3 gold. And we'll take it. I think Blue's going to... Okay, so you want to build, right? Yes. It's going to be a waste, but it's something. Finally finish this off. Kind of help Blue more than yourself, but there's nothing else you can do now. You're stuck. Oh, that's it. That's it. Here we go. Final score. Oh, man. Red got clobbered. 15 on the progress track. Oh, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. But anyway, I wasn't being too careful there. I kind of got tired at the end. But the whole point was just to give you a feel for how Amerigo plays. It's quick, it's light, it's easy, it practically is Gateway. You just have to explain. You have to be a good explainer of the rules to get people so they have an idea of what's going on. Don't feel overwhelmed by the multiplication that's involved. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.